It's hard to stay safe in Russia because you never know who you might encounter. In this dashcam footage, the sedan driver wasn't happy with how the argument went. Instead of letting it go, he got angry and grabbed an axe. Who even drives around with an axe? The other driver had to back up as the furious man smashed his window, clearly trying to cause damage. Seeing his target reverse, the angry Russian thought about throwing the axe, but then changed his mind and stormed back to his car. It seemed like he had been ready for something like this because, out of nowhere, he pulled out a pistol and started shooting before speeding off. Whoever the target was, they were lucky. You don't hear about highway drive-by shootings every day, but when Russian mafia men get angry, they don't hold back. In the video, a man squeezed himself out of the car window with a long rifle. After passing a couple of vehicles, the man did not shoot, but whoever he had in mind was lucky that he did not pull the trigger. Even teenagers in Russia want a piece of the chaos. They don't just mess with street signs or other kids, they go for full-on train heists. In this footage, the train captain is in shock and terrified as a group of teenagers keeps trying to force the train door open. From how panicked he is, it's clear that teens like these have done more than just steal during train robberies. Thankfully, the train finally started moving. On February 17, 2016, armed law enforcers raided a restaurant in Dzerzhinsky, Moscow, to disrupt a meeting of high-ranking Russian mafia members known as the Vory v Zakone, or Thieves in Law. A total of 59 mafia members were arrested. The attendees came heavily armed. Officers seized 15 handguns, 5 rifles, a shotgun, and 15 knives. The weapons were sent for testing to see if they were linked to past crimes. The mafia members were between 20 and 47 years old, and many had prior criminal records. The Vors are one of Russia's most powerful criminal organizations, similar to the Made Men. In Chelyabinsk, the mafia controls the roads. They set up checkpoints on highways, stop drivers, and write them tickets.
цифры на башке номер?
729.
Тебе еще подъедут не раз, я не знаю, как ты прорывался, блядь.
Убирал.
Блядь, 5 бригад работает конкретно. Так, смотри. Вот меня Олег зовут, пишу ЧТЗ, блядь. Блядь, как?
The drivers have to pay for these tickets. It is like a road pass.
Читызовский, я понял?
Ага.
Олег Читызовский, блядь. И вот кто у нас за городом смотрит, за, блядь, за читызовские пацаны, вот пусть твой шеф поинтересуется, Олег Читызовский работает на трассе, и пусть поинтересуется, блядь.
This kind of ambush feels like something out of a movie, not real life. The Benz driver must have been shocked when a car on his left suddenly swerved before him, trapping his vehicle. When he saw the car doors swing open and people rushing toward him, he tried to reverse, but he was stuck. The robbers smashed his window, forced him to open the trunk, and within seconds they emptied his car. Ever wondered what happens when a gang of teenage mobs raids a train? This video shows it all. Recorded by one of the teens, it captures the moment they attacked a train worker and forced him to open a door. At the other end of the train, the teens were busy looting whatever they could. Russian mafia gangs are known for their confidence. In this video, two gangs walked openly into the street, clearly ready to fight. And they did. Both groups clashed, throwing punches at each other. It seems like almost every man in Russia is part of a mob gang. In this video, an impatient taxi driver overtook some cars, which annoyed the driver with the dash cam. He called out the taxi driver and overtook him in return, but that wasn't the end.
О, хуй тут едешь, урод ебаный.
Moments later, the taxi came speeding back, overtook the dashcam car, and suddenly blocked the road. The people inside jumped out, and the driver went straight to his trunk.
Чё хуесос, блядь?
He pulled out a baseball bat while the dashcam driver also stepped out holding an axe. Luckily, they settled things without a fight.
Да так-то.
The lanky man thought he was helping the Mafia guys with the smoke, but he didn't expect what happened next. After the shorter Mafia guy lit his cigarette, he suddenly punched him with an uppercut and then robbed him. Stuck in heavy traffic, a Russian gangster saw the perfect chance to rob another driver. 3 men began smashing the car's windows while the trapped driver had nowhere to escape.
Всего доброго. До свидания.
After a few more hits, the driver finally gave in and opened the door for the robbers. What seemed like a peaceful night drive took a sudden turn for a Thai truck driver when a reckless sedan swerved into his lane without warning. The driver got out to check the damage, thinking it was just an accident, but he was wrong. Mafia members were actually robbing him. In this video, a police van suddenly blocked the path of a Russian Mafia convoy. An officer walked up to one of the drivers to talk. Soon, other mob members got out of their cars and approached the officer in a threatening way. When 2 robbers tried to rob a shop, this Russian man wouldn't let them take his favorite store. With courage, the elderly man approached the robber with the gun at the counter and tried to disarm him. Despite taking several hits to the face, he bravely managed to push the robbers out of the store. This video captures another well-planned traffic robbery. Dashcam footage shows 3 armed men stepping out of a gray sedan in traffic and getting straight to business. Within seconds, they rushed back to their car, and the getaway driver, without hesitation, forced his way through the one-way traffic. You never know what Mafia members might be caught doing on camera. In this CCTV footage, 5 men casually walked into an ATM booth and started forcing a machine out. It was clear they had planned everything, as a getaway vehicle was already waiting. They struggled to load the heavy machine into the trunk while a passerby watched. After securing it, the car sped away, and the guys dispersed. The country's police are just as intense in their efforts to combat the Russian Mafia. In this video, the Russian police Spetsnaz moved in fast, stopping a vehicle in traffic before jumping out in full commando style. The masked officers smashed the car windows and quickly captured their target. What happened next is unknown, as the dashcam vehicle drove away from the scene. Road rage in Russia is on another level. A dashcam captured the moment a white sedan driver, angry about something earlier, fired a shot at a car. After forcing the car to stop, the furious driver got out and used his bare fist to smash the windshield. Even Santa isn't always pleasant in this country. CCTV footage from a pawn shop captured 3 armed robbers dressed as Santa Claus in action. One of them held a man hostage, while the others grabbed valuables. Once they were done, they rushed toward the exit. As they reached the door, a customer opened it, but ran away after spotting the robbers. One chased after him, but quickly returned to alert the crew, and they all fled. In this video, a group of thieves stormed a jewelry shop and took everything they could grab, leaving the place empty. After investigating, the police tracked down the criminals and raided their hideout.
Сколько человек дома? Дома сколько?
Ребенок, двое.
Все.
Фамилия, имя? Уроженец? Фамилия, имя? Лицо показывай. Уроженец?
Mafia bosses live flashy lifestyles without apology. In this video, one is surrounded by a convoy of luxury cars rivaling those of world leaders. Even with all his guards, when it was time to leave, he took the driver's seat while his guards quickly loaded into their armored vehicles. In this video, two thieves break into a building to steal money from an ATM. They quickly secure the area and set up their tools. Once everything was ready, they started cutting through the vault and managed to open it. They then moved to the second ATM, opened it, and completely emptied both machines. These three robbers had everything planned before raiding the grocery store. As soon as they arrived, two held everyone inside hostage while the third locked the door and put up a closed sign. One robber led a store worker to the back, while another brought an electric cutter from their car. They then started cutting open an ATM inside the store, while the customers and staff remained hostage. A customer later approached the store but turned away after seeing the closed sign. Another person stood nearby, talking on the phone, while the robbers finished their job and drove off. Moments later, a police officer arrived at the scene. Drone and body cam footage captured the moment tactical officers raided a top Russian-speaking crime network. The officers immediately arrested the suspects on the breach, and as they searched the house, they found a tunnel leading to a basement filled with weapons, money, and jewelry. Fueled by adrenaline, this Russian mobster cocked his AK-47 and fired shots into the air for fun.
Нож подкинули, как вы сейчас.
Носил с собой ствол, носил под втором стволе. Через окно ОМОН вещь таки нас.
After letting off enough rounds, he returned to his car, where his family set up camp. In this video, FSB agents raided a house that was suspected of hiding weapons for terrorists. They arrested the people inside and found homemade pistols and bullets, confirming their intel. Similar raids took place in multiple cities, leading to the arrest of 134 people and the recovery of more weapons, including over 30 kilograms of explosives.
Все, давайте начинайте багажник открыть.
Захват, захват. А что я сделал, ребят? Руки под себя! Руки под себя!
Like any mob celebration, this one wouldn't be complete without gunfire. In this video, a gang member fired shots into the air. After that, another Mafia member spun his car in circles, blocking traffic. In this video, Russia's FSB carried out a sting operation, arresting a man in the middle of a parking lot. They arrested another man in the same way. Both were members of the Shamil Basayev and Katab gangs and had taken part in an armed attack on Russian soldiers in October 1999. which killed 15 people and left 28 seriously injured.
Давай, руки давай!